Hi, I'm Lainey Melnick with Dream Vacations. Today I wanted to talk to you about how to prepare for a big bucket list adventure like I'm going on next week in Africa. So I wanted to go over some of the supplies that I use to make my life a lot easier when I'm on the road. First of all, when you're traveling out of the country, you want to be able to bring your passport in an easy to use compartment, and you can open up straight to your photo page. I also keep in here for this vacation my vaccination record. It's important to go to a travel clinic and find out what vaccinations you might need for your trip. They will give you an overview of everything that's necessary, and you carry it with you to prove to immigration when you get to the countries that you're visiting that you are all set. I also keep my travel insurance card with this, so in case something happens, I know where that is. This is a sample of what you can get from Passport Health. This is the packet they put together for my trip. It will tell you what your requirements are, and then it also goes over each country that you're going to be in and what the alerts are, what the recommendations are. It's extremely helpful, and I highly recommend you going to a travel clinic if you're taking a trip. It's also important to do your research about power. So I bring a power converter along, and it has one cord that plugs into E and F, and I'm going to St. Lucia, South Africa, Uganda, and Rwanda. So I have quite a few different power needs. They all have letters depending on what power adapter they use. So I'm actually bringing 7 additional with me. One of them is US, so I can plug this into a US outlet as well. It comes in a nice pouch and easy to carry, so you can bring it along, use it in the airport, or use it in your hotels, and it makes it a lot easier to plug in all of your electronic devices. I always bring a Dream Vacation sleep mask, so when I'm on a plane, I can get some sleep, or in a hotel that doesn't have very good windows. It's also a good idea to bring some earplugs in case you need some silence to help you sleep. And I also bring a little travel toothbrush that's mechanical, toothpaste, and I have medication that I use every day. So I put it in a little pack like this for small trips. And for big trips like this one, I actually have a lot of medications that I'm going to need. So I have a little compression packing cubes that I use, which really helps organize my trip. And for this trip, since I'm going to some third world type countries that don't have very good medical care, I had to get a CPAC and Cipro ahead of time just in case I get sick, and EpiPens in case I have a reaction to an insect. And Pepto-Bismol tablets are preventative, so if you get some tummy illnesses, you can take care of that way. Also some Gas-X. And where I'm going to need some malaria pills. So they give you enough malaria pills that you take some a couple days before you go, all the way through your malaria areas, and then a week after. So I have the exact amount I need, and I put this in my carry-on because you don't want to risk losing any of your medications. I also carry a lot of electronics with me. So I have all of my electronics in another of my packing cubes, and I have quite a bit of photo equipment I take with me. So I put my GoPro underwater equipment in its own, so I always know where all of my underwater equipment is when I need it. In order to carry everything on board, I use a Tumi travel backpack. The reason I like it is because it opens in the back for your computer. I can put my tablet in here. I have a MacBook that fits perfectly, and I can also put my iPad in here. And then inside, you have plenty of space and lots of compartments. You can put keys on the outside, your phone. And this is a little lockable. I mean, it's not exactly a lock, but you secure it like that. And so when it's on your back, somebody can't open that very easily. And what I do is I take my packing cubes and I can just slip them inside, and you can see there's plenty of space for lots of the packing cubes. The problem with traveling in Africa on a plane is that there is very strict requirements for how much weight you can have, even on your carry-on. So I use a little weight scale for my luggage. You hang this side up, you put your luggage there, and you know how many pounds your luggage is. That is really helpful because I'm only allowed 15 pounds in this little backpack to go to Johannesburg from Cape Town. So it's a really important thing for me to know. Plus I have a 40-pound limit on my suitcase, the checked carry-on. I mean the checked bag, I'm sorry. Also, when you travel, it's good to have a money belt, especially in areas which are high crime. This makes it very difficult for somebody to steal your important documents and your money. Now, I'm going on a safari. I'm going on actually several safaris, and I'm going gorilla trekking. In Uganda and Rwanda, the gorilla trekking has a lot of requirements as well. You have to travel extremely lightly so that you can get around easily, and there's not a whole lot of infrastructure. So even though the water is safe, I bought one of these filtration systems. You just fill water inside this, and you put the filter through and you push down. It's by GRAYL. It's called Ultralight Purifier. And once it takes a few seconds for it to push through. And then the water comes through in the middle, and you can carry that with you, and you can drink from anywhere. You can drink from rivers, from streams, from tap water, and it makes it safe. I also am bringing Campsuds, which is with Citronella. So you use this as your soap when you're showering to make it even less likely that mosquitoes will find you delicious. You want to try to really keep the insects away when you're in these areas. The other thing you can do is this Ranger Ready spray. So I'm going to go over what you do with your clothing to make it mosquito resistant, but any of your uncovered areas, use a spray like this. This one actually doesn't have any DEET in it. DEET is very potent kind of chemical. So I like to use one without DEET, but if you need DEET, they also have these little packs that you can open, take it with you, and just rub it on when you need it. I like those a lot, especially when you're trying to only do carry-ons and you can't have a lot of liquids with you. To keep clean hand armor, keep it with you at all times, and just keep making sure that you don't touch anything, especially bathrooms, without washing your hands. Also, you may not have toilet paper. So I bought this handy little toilet tissue that is very small, little roll, and you can take in your carry-on or your backpack and have toilet paper with you wherever you go. Now, I'll go into the equipment that I have for my hiking in a minute to continue with what you do for mosquito repellent. I used this duration spray, and I'll show you how to use it. But you set out all of your clothes that you want to wear while you're on your safari, spray it down and let it dry, and then you don't take this with you. So your clothing is then treated for your whole trip. I'm also bringing long underwear. It's going to be kind of cold in the mountains, so I'm going to bring a long t-shirt and long underwear, and I'm going to coat that so at night when I'm sleeping in it, it's also safe. So for my hike, they do, in the gorilla trekking national parks, they do offer you walking sticks, but I like to, I'm short, it's difficult for me to have a big heavy stick. So I bought this little collapsible walking stick to use, which hopefully will work really well. It's very muddy out there, so I brought the mud flaps on the bottom, and I can just fit this whole thing in my day pack so that I don't need to worry about bringing anything with me. Sorry. So in my suitcase, I'm going to bring a day pack. That way I don't have to bring my nice Tumi with me on my hikes, and I can just put all of my equipment and my water in here. At night, it gets a little scary without lights, so I am bringing a headlamp. It's battery operated and you can charge it on USB. And for the hiking in the jungle, they recommend that you bring gardening gloves, because there's going to be thorns on the branches. You want to be able to protect your hands when you're hiking. And of course, whoops, sorry. I also am bringing my hiking boots. Good, strong hiking boots are really recommended so that you can get through the jungle easily. For clothing, light colors is the best way to go, because flies are attracted, the tsetse fly is attracted to black and blue. And the mosquitoes are attracted to dark. So I got a pair of the khaki color utility pants. This one's from Chico's. It's very easy, very lightweight. You want something that's going to dry fast, and I also got the same kind of cover. You want long sleeves because you want to be able to protect as much of your body as possible from the mosquitoes. I think that's about all I have for you today. So if you have any questions, please email me at lmelnick@dreamvacations.com, or please let me book your next vacation so I can help you with any tips that you need. Thank you very much. Have a nice day.